It's so easy to stray away from our authentic selves and who we truly are at heart when we are consistently put into these routines that are literally made to stray as far away from our authenticity. What's happening? Jasiiahz, and heavy on my mind that I want to digest is it does not get easier. Life does not get easier at all. If anything, life gets harder. You want life to get harder. Life does not get easier. You build your resilience. You become tougher. That's what life is about. Because once you stop building your resilience, once you start allowing yourself to get knocked down and staying knocked down, then you're essentially giving up. And when you essentially give up, you choose to stay comfortable. You choose to stay in stagnation. And when you choose to stay in stagnation, then you're choosing a life of not living for yourself. You're choosing a life of conforming to not just the norm, not just what you believe is easier, but you conform to simply just being so minuscule in such a grand world. You choose comfortability and confusion in who you really truly want to be instead of authenticity and decisiveness. God, when I say you, I may just be talking about me, so it's like taking a little bit of time to digest this, because truthfully, I lost my train of thought. That's what's truthful. But yeah, I believe that at the end of it all, let me catch it. I'm gonna catch this. Watch. To make room and to make space, when it comes to authenticity, when it comes to being able to simply just exist and take up space as who we are on a level of genuinely being able to live, not just live, but thrive, to be ever growing, to be ever evolving, because as humans, that's what we are made for. We are mankind's most evolved creature, but we doubt ourselves and we conform to society's norms with a capitalistic country, and that dulls us down to simply having to work in order to provide a lifestyle. We work to provide a lifestyle, and in working to provide a lifestyle, we stray so far away from who we are. And in straying so far away from who we are, we lose our authenticity. And in losing our authenticity, we lose the biggest and most tapped in spiritual practice we could have, and that's authenticity. When you're creating, when you know who you are and you're creating from a space of so much authenticity, you are so tapped in, because that is simply genuinely a creation of the universe, because you are tapped in with you and you are a creation of the universe. So when you're creating from a space of simply being a creation of the universe. You're so tapped in, creating from just your pair of eyes, your hands, your vision. Your vision alone is one that's not able to be copied, because it's so authentic. because it's so unique, because it's so you. Because it's so me. Yeah. So it's so easy to stray away from our authentic selves and who we truly are at heart when we are consistently put into these routines that are literally made to stray as far away from our authenticity. But not only that, but it's also the environments, the inner world, the trauma, how we choose to operate. It's so stunting to our growth. It's so stunting to human evolution, to human growth. It's so stunting to our evolution as a collective, as a whole, as a mass of people, as knocking definitions and knocking out classes from rich to poor to middle class, knocking all of that out the window. We as humans are depriving ourselves of evolution when we decide to deprive ourselves of our authenticity in order to reach the next check, in order to reach the next bag, in order to reach the next, moolah grab. And don't get me wrong, of course, money is stability in an aspect when you think of the capitalistic society we live in. Of course you're gonna want to go for the next stability grab. Get chores. We all deserve to be living, not just surviving. But that's the thing, when you put yourself in certain aspects, in certain habits, in certain environments, you not only can stray away from who you are, but you can tend to pick up another mindset and another type of habit process, another type of habit checklist, another type of like you just tend to pick up habits that are that which embody somebody who's completely not aligning with who you are. And that's just because you're in that environment. You will soak up habits from others around you, even if that's not who you are as a person, because your exposure to that environment, to those people, will simply mold you in a way that you will not see, because it happens so minuscule, and it happens in tiny bits and pieces, but it happens gradually, and it builds up to then create these habits, to create this type of person, to create even a persona of who you have to be around these environments, of who you have to be around these people. But it's knowing that at the end of that all, we are still a person, and we need a group, not we, but I am still a person. I need to center myself. I need to remind myself. I need to believe in my vision. I need to know who I am, because no one around me, regardless of how much they love me, regardless of how much they believe in me, no one around me will be able to sincerely and genuinely be able to tell me who I am, because that's something I have to do for myself. I have to do the work to know what it is that makes my inner child feel so fulfilled, what it is that makes my current version of myself feel content having ended a day. It's knowing who I truly am. It's knowing that the decisions I make are making me feel content, are in my favor, in making me feel secure in the person I am, not just today, in the person I'm becoming, because every single day that we embody a version of ourselves is every single day that we are living in that era of that version. So if I'm embodying a version of myself every day where I'm sincerely, we should never sincerely live to survive. But if I'm living every day in this mindset that I just am not capable of loving, that I'm just not capable of having a love life because I'm so damaged from my personal life. If I said that, and if I came with that version of myself every day, showing up in every single room I step into with that energy, and I embody that every single moment of my life, and I truly believe that, and I tell myself that, that is what will be created of my reality. Because when you're thinking of it, that's the only thing that you think you're capable of. And so in you thinking that that's all you're capable of, that's simply all that you're going to be able to receive, because that is what your brain is. That's the only thing you're feeding your brain. It's like food. You become what you eat, basically, when you're feeding your brain. And so if you're feeding your brain the same thing, you're going to get the same story. The same story. Like, hello? Madness is expecting a different ending from the same formula. That is said so often, and that's like a universal thing. But like, truly, when it's knowing that, what are we doing? We can't allow, and I can't allow, people that do not align with where I see myself going and who I want to be and who I am right now in my circle and in my future and in my day-to-day, because the influence that they have on me, regardless on the boundaries I set, will be prevalent. It will be present in my life, in every decision I make, because that is my environment that I'm exposing myself to. And at the end of it all, if that is not one that does not resonate with who I am and it does not align with where I want to go anymore, then it's knowing that I at one point have to sacrifice that. I at one point have to let that go. I at one point have to release that, because there needs to be space for my new version. There needs to be space for my new thought patterns. There needs to be space for my new habits. There needs to be space for a new feeling, a new trigger when I do something, a new sense of fulfillment for me. And if I want that, then I need to make space for that. And I can't have both worlds going on. I can't have both aspects going on. I need to choose one. What am I doing? You know, and it's in knowing that I'm gonna show up and I'm gonna say I am deserving of love. I do deserve love. I deserve all the love in the world, and I know that, and I'm capable of loving, and I'm ready for it. If I show up with that version every day, show up with that version of me in every single room, in every single conversation, with that type of energy, I hold myself like that, that eventually becomes me. And that is the era of my life that I'm now living, because every single day that I decided to live out that version of myself, it created an era for myself. And in that era, I created my vision. And in my vision, no one trusted my vision, but I still made it happen. And that's in believing in myself. But that's a whole nother topic. Be careful of the version that you show up as today, because that version that you show up as today is a building block for the era that you're building, and for the era that you're going to live. Reminder to self, I deserve the best era. I deserve the best version of myself every day, the best version of a day every day, regardless of how the day looks, because my inner world is beautiful. I'm flourishing. Anyways, later loves, much loves, beautiful view. Later.